Hello, family. This is your friend Kenesha, and welcome to Transformation Tuesday, episode number 7. Remember, we're looking at the base word of transformation, which is to transform. That means that we're making a thorough or dramatic change in character, form, and appearance. And then when we look at the word trans, or the part of the word trans, it stands for taking real people and navigating towards success. And then the form is forcing ourselves into radical metamorphosis or focusing on the right mindset. So last week we talked about standards protect good character. And then we said the word standard means an idea or thing used as a measure or a norm. And the example that we used was with the royal family. And one of the standards or criteria is when she stands, you stand up. So I'm thinking now about the word compromise. And the word compromise means to accept standards that are lower than is desirable. Have you ever compromised? Here's another definition of compromise. It says this. Listen, this is what Google says. It says bring into disrepute or danger by indiscreet, foolish, or reckless behavior. So I think of Whitney Houston, a wonderful, phenomenal, awesome, talented artist. The Guinness Book of World Records said that she was one of the most talented women and sold the most records at a point of time. And she was America's sweetheart with this innocence, right? This innocence. And then here comes Bobby Brown. Now, I don't want you to consider the recent documentaries because we found out some new truth. We'll discuss that on Thursday. But for now, let's consider her pre what we know about in those documentaries, what we've learned. And I think many of us could say that there was a compromise. And then, unfortunately, she chose drugs. She compromised her convictions, alcohol, and unfortunately, it led to her early demise. And so our thought for today is, tempted to compromise your conviction? Be careful. We're coming from our book that we love. It's Next Generation Leader by Andy Stanley. It is an excellent book, and let's see what he talks about when it comes to compromise. He says, the most direct path to where you want to be is not the most ethical one. Consider. It says, but my hunch is that if you were to draw a straight line from where you are to where you want to be, and then you follow it, you would be forced to compromise morally or ethically somewhere between you and your goal as a next generation leader is a minefield. Just a little bit more. Think about that. Are you tempted to compromise your conviction? He says the day will come when progress seems to call for a compromise of conviction. The leader in you will want to push forward, but there will be another voice as well. The message will be simple, short, and without explanation. This is wrong. So I think of Martin Luther King Jr. He's a perfect example of someone when he was tempted, he did not compromise. He was a major part of ending legal segregation. He traveled over 6 million miles. He made over 2,500 speeches. He was given many honorary doctoral degrees, Nobel Peace Prize at a young age. Yet, unfairly, he was arrested 29 times. His family threatened. His house set on fire with his wife and his kids in it. And yet, he did not compromise. Non-violence. That was his conviction. And that's what he believed in. And that's what he chose. So how about you and me? Or you and I? What are we going to do? Because temptation comes our way every single day. And it's tough. It is not always easy. But here's my question for you. What will you do when you are tempted to compromise your convictions? Please make that decision now, family. It's all about changing you so we can go out and change the world. I love you. This is your friend Kenesha.